Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to this week's episode of my YouTube channel. My name is Jake Fryman. I'm a realtor here in Dayton, Ohio with Keller Williams Community Partners. And this week I'm going to be talking a little bit about the real estate market, what's going on as far as rates, what we've seen so far this year with supply and demand, and what we kind of expect to see going into this month and the rest of this year. So far the Fed has kept good on their promise of not raising interest rates. At their last meeting, they decided to keep rates where they are. And with that, we're seeing interest rates going a little bit lower. Mortgage lending rates are indirectly tied to the rates that are set by the Fed to the market. The more directly tied to the 10-year Treasury bonds, but it still goes through the Fed more or less with what they decide to do with their rate setting. So right now we're seeing rates a little lower than they were last year, kind of in the high sixes, low fives, depending on who you're going through and what you can find out there and what your situation is as far as financials go. And so what we really think we're going to see going into this year is kind of the Fed's kind of said that they're not going to be lowering rates just yet. Inflation's still a little high, employment's still a little high for them. So to keep that economy cooling a little bit and not letting inflation get out of control, we probably won't see rates go down until the summer. So I would not expect to see interest rates go down until closer to that time anyway. So as we head through the rest of the winter and into early spring, I think we're kind of see a holding pattern here as far as rates go. But then as we head into the spring and summer, later spring and summer, hopefully we'll start to see those interest rates go down as the Fed hopefully starts to cut rates, which would be great for all of us if we could see those rates go down for sure. So what does that mean then? That means that we might see lower interest rates going into the summer when the housing market usually heats up anyway in any given year. That'll mean more competition then for buyers because you'll see more folks being able to be priced into higher markets as far as pricing goes on houses. And it'll be good for sellers. So if you're thinking of selling this year, I would start working on that now, getting your house ready, because if you do want to or need to sell later this year, I think as you head into the summer, that's a great time to look into it because we will continue to see inventory not being able to keep up with demand. I think there's going to be a lot of pent-up demand. A lot of folks have been wanting to buy but haven't been able to. Some folks are staying put because they got a good deal on their house in the past couple years, but there's always going to be people needing to move or needing to buy for whatever reason, especially first-time home buyers. So I think you'll see some pent-up demand being released later this year. So if you're thinking of selling, it's a good year to do that. And on the buyer side, you will see some increased competition, but lower rates as well. So you'll need a trusted real estate expert to kind of help guide you through that process and crafting the right deal on the right house to allow you to compete with the increased competition that we should see later this year. So that's kind of where we are right now. A little slower right now in the winter as usual, and with the rates still a little higher, but I do project that as we head into the second half of this year, things will get busier for both the buyers and the sellers, and hopefully we'll continue to see some improvement there with rates and the overall inflation and economy, which should be very helpful for the housing market. And that's very specific here for Dayton as well. It's different in other parts of the country, but Dayton, there's a lot of demand here right now. It's relatively cheaper, and I think that you'll see that demand really explode in the next few months. So if this was helpful, let me know if you have any more questions or need advice about buying or selling, and have a great weekend. Talk to you next time.